Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Circular Economy. I'm your host, Manon Beauchamp-Tardieu, CEO and co-founder at Little Green Panda. Joining me on set today are two very inspirational leaders in the plastic pollution industry, Ricki Hersburgh, the Executive Director of Plastic Oceans Australasia, and John Engelander, CEO and founder of the Planet Earth Cleaning Company and EcoBins Australia. Ricki is a dynamic executive manager with over 25 years experience in environmental sustainability, waste resource management, and the not-for-profit sector. An avid ocean lover, Ricki is passionate to inspire generational change to ensure our blue planet can endure the ongoing impact of human activity on aquatic life. John is a true force of nature who founded the Planet Earth Cleaning Company in 1994 from his belief in profit with a purpose. Today, he works with people who are looking for a healthy alternative and genuinely cares about making a difference to the planet. Ricki and John, hi, welcome to Circular Economy.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for having us.
It's wonderful to have you here. I'm so excited to have you both come speak on the panel today because it's going to be such a value-driven information session, and I think we should just get straight into it and start by introducing yourselves and what you guys do.
Sure. Okay. Well, I've run a number of businesses. I have this thing about trying to develop ideas and make things better, and Planet Earth came as an idea of being involved in with somebody who I kind of went into partnership with for cleaning, and one of the cleaners didn't show up, so I rolled up my sleeves. And when I was caught in this little toilet cubicle, if only my friends could see me now, but my skin from the cleaning toxicity of the cleaning products, I had no idea the moment I opened up the bottle, start to burn. And the fumes were kind of suffocating me. And you know what? Cleaners shouldn't be subjected to this. There's got to be a better way. Mm-hmm. So I went to the guy who was going to end up being in partnership with and told him that we should replace toxic with non-toxic. Mm-hmm. And he said, I'm crazy. So we split. I went my own way. And then I had this idea. I thought, hang on, if it's good for the cleaners, it's probably good for the planet, because chemicals go down our waterways, generally through the river system, into our oceans, that have an impact. And then the breathing in the office, because there's toxic fumes happening, just didn't make sense. So that was the beginning of me really thinking about what a difference I could make having a business. And so it became a purpose-driven business, and it just kept growing with people understanding what it means to make a difference. So the clients we attract are those that want to use us to help them with their impact. So we become the impact they choose, which is wonderful. And we get a lot of like-minded clients along the journey. So I guess the idea was good, and then it moved into finding the right clients. And then from that, we found after a few years, people wanted to recycle, weren't doing it well, didn't know how to separate waste. They put signage up. It always went wrong. And then we created this colour-coded bin system called EcoBin.
No way.
Yeah, so we thought that would help our clients. Mm-hmm. But what actually came out of it was that it became a business in itself. So all over Australia, lots of councils and, the corporate offices and schools and universities have taken it on. We make it part of the package. So when we give our cleaning service to a client, we also provide them the EcoBins free of charge. We want them to do the right thing. And we give them morning tea inductions. So it's a whole package about getting it right.
That's awesome. So you're educating people at the same time on ways to be more, sustainable in the office.
Absolutely. And it makes them more attractive because when they tell new staff what they're doing in the green space, they look good too.
That's it. Yeah. Exactly right. So, lovely. Well, thanks so much for sharing that with us.
Pleasure.
And what about yourself, Ricki, with Plastic Oceans Australasia?
Well, I just want to say one thing that John, you didn't say, and that I love about the bins is that they collapse. And they're fantastic for storage. So I'm a real big fan of your EcoBins. So well done. All of
Thank
that
you.
work
We get a lot of thought. Thanks.
So Plastic Oceans Australasia, we set up about 4 years ago. It'll be our 4th anniversary this August, and we launched in Canberra in Parliament House and had a wonderful viewing of our movie A Plastic Ocean, which is actually where the foundation is born from, is from that movie that went worldwide over 4 years ago, to really bring awareness to the world about the huge issue that we have about plastic waste. But my history is that my father had one of the first plastic recycling businesses here in Victoria, Australia, where I am with you. And I worked in the yard, like you, rolling up the sleeves when the cleaner wasn't there, and I was sorting plastic and learning about all the different plastic types. And that was, it was pocket money, after school. Very quickly realised, don't tell your friends that you work sorting rubbish on the weekends. That was very uncool in those days. Now, of course, it's the best thing to be doing. And that was the start of my journey. So for many, many years, I've been working in the environmental not-for-profit space, working in a number of NGOs and also corporate, seeing the very little small steps forward, 3 steps back approach, and the surge and the plastic issue hasn't gone away. And what drives me is that there's so much that needs to be done, and we have finally got airtime with people, with media, with governments that actually realise 4 decades later that we really do have this enormous, enormous problem. What are we going to do about it? So it's that was what I was invited to take up the role here to expand what we've got in the UK. And basically that's where it started from. So it's just been a roller coaster of explosion for people wanting our products, our services, and for us to get out there and help them.
That's awesome, because there's no better time than now, like the need for this, for people to know and for businesses to do better. This is the prime time. Like, it's crazy to think it took 4 decades to get to this point now, but that's
pretty sad. Pretty sad. But anyway,
we're here now.
We'll do some good. We'll do some good.
So I guess from both of you introducing yourself, it goes without saying that you guys are both very mission driven in how you do businesses or running organizations. Why do you think now more than ever in this generation it's so important to, when you're doing a business, to put sustainability at the forefront of what you do?
Yeah, well, I think a purpose-driven business is quite exciting because it becomes more than money itself. Clearly, you're in business where you make money. But when there's actually a message that changes people and people matter, the planet matters, if you can make that change, and it actually creates a kind of a fever amongst the people you attract to your business, not just clients, but new employees. They want to be part of that. And so would you feel that as well? It's amazing. Just, and they help you think as well. So the whole thinking mechanism becomes one big brain that looks for solutions and take action, and that's why we help our clients taking action, simply by, choosing us, choosing Ricki, so it's brilliant.
Awesome. And what do you think?
I think the whole way people think about going into business needs to be tipped the other way around and reverse engineer it, a bit like what John's saying. But a further add on to that is, before you even decide you want to go into business, whatever it might be, whether it's for profit or not for profit, you actually decide, A, why am I doing it? B, what is the impact that I'm going to have? What's my footprint before I even start doing this? And actually work out if there's even a demand or there's a market for whatever it is that you want to do, because a lot of people do start up businesses because they think, oh, it sounds like a great idea and it's, it seems funny at the time, it would be great or cool or whatever, but they don't really think further than that. And the one thing that is really apparent now more than ever is that if you don't go into whatever you do with a sustainable outcome, we're actually not going to even be here. We won't exist, because the air that we breathe, the water that we drink, everything that around us is imploding as we speak. Today, every day, yesterday, every day, tomorrow. There's more and more dramatic climate events that are happening, which just speaks volumes of the issue. So any business that we do, I just feel that you've got to have a sustainability management plan as your top priority, and everything will flow from that. Like what John's saying, that you know, the business comes, it's good for the planet, good for the people, you'll get your profit, people, planet, profit, you know, always talk about those three. So that's I guess where I'm from with that. And I'm completely obsessed about what I do, which I guess helps as well, because I'm driven to make sure that whatever we can do, whoever we reach, that there's a success for them, that the outcome is a success.
It better be, right? And here's the thing, I find also that because our business is about a story. I mean, you can get cleaning anywhere and you can get bins anywhere, but suddenly there's tie-in of clients wanting to be part of that story and helping them, and it comes together, solving their issues, I guess. So
yeah, they feel like they're involved, that it's not just a product, there's a whole reason behind it. And I think that's that reason that gets people attached to
reason for being.
That's it.
You know, like Ricki's, you know, talked, I guess in a way about consequences. Every decision has a consequence, which is the choice of the product, the services you use, the business you decide to go in. Will you stay motivated? And frankly, I think if there's real purpose and there is a market, then you're going to be, I hate to use the word, you're going to sustain yourself. But from a point of view about planet and sustaining and sustainability, Ricki knows my thoughts on that. I'm not a big fan of the word sustainability because it's ordinary. It's really boring. It doesn't motivate. So, you know, the planet's disabled, right? And what we want to do is enable it. So perhaps some form of enableability as opposed to sustainability has much more going for it, I think. And so driving
and relevance.
people.
We need to everyone needs to be relevant with what they're doing. And I think that's something that people miss as well.
No. Wow. Well,
good one, yeah.
You touched that on really well. With nowadays, I guess with businesses making more and more products, we're finding more items and going into landfill and ultimately the ocean. Ricki, maybe this is a question for you with your background, since you were very little and were helping your family in their plastic recycling business. Why do you think nowadays there's an issue with how we recycle our products? Why are they not actually getting properly recycled? What's the problem there?
Well, if we had at least 3 days to talk about it, I could give you all the answers. But the quick answer probably is that it's a lack of education for the consumer. And the recycling of products is not done properly because a lot of people still don't know, and that's why John's bin system is so important. They still don't know what can be put in which bin for recycling. A lot of people don't know that when they put an item in the bin, like a yogurt container, if it still has some yogurt in the bottom of it, it's actually contaminated, and that contaminates everything that's in that bin and they can't use it. So it's all those little things that people just don't understand so they're at the end of the line, they're at the end of the supply chain, and what do they do with it? So responsible consumption is really, really important, that the person who's the end of the line knows what to do with it. So that still today is a really big problem. People just don't know enough about what to do. And they don't know, you know, even though they've got numbering systems and codes about what it is, whether it's PET, and, you know, you can see what it is. For a lot of people, they still don't know, they don't understand. So that's, I think, one of the main reasons why recycling is still not a really great outcome. And for us, with what we do at Plastic Oceans, it's the very, very, very last frontier. We would like it never even to get to recycling. We would like people to refuse, and we go through all our hours of refuse, reuse, repurpose, you know, before we even get to the recycling. Recycling is like the last stopgap, and then it still gets to landfill and it still gets into the ocean. So that's the issue with recycling.
So education and educating people, because for me, like when I personally started my journey and learning more about recycling, I was always very confused by those little triangles, because it is sort of a bit ambiguous in the meaning, and unless you really know about it, then you know, okay, this can go in this bin, this can't go in this bin. So do you think it's a matter of changing the way products should be labeled? Like, should there be a way of saying this can go in this bin? Or
certainly signage, and you mentioned signage before, signage and the information that's on products. So, you know, years ago it was mandatory that you had to put every single ingredient on the outside of a can or whatever you have, you know, even an icy pole, whatever it is, it's got to say what's on it. And I think that that is something that government could definitely lead better with, is actually doing a better system of labelling. I think that would help. I mean, ideally, it would be really great if we could phase out the single-use plastic and actually come up with better alternatives where we can actually have products that have a life cycle on them, that they can use them for a long time rather than just use it once for 12 seconds and then it's thrown in the bin. And a lot of times when people are out and about, they don't actually, there's no facility for them to actually put the product into, and they still, you know, there's still a lot of litter, huge amount of litter. So that is very difficult. It's hard to recycle if it doesn't even get put in a bin. So there is a lot about education. I think there's a lot about the manufacturers needing to take more responsibility on the actual production and the end of the line of what they're doing and how they actually put it out there. But really, it would be terrific if we could just eliminate those really fast food items, as they're called, the quick ones, the quick fix, the bottles. They are, you know, the bottles, the cups, the straws, and then of course there's a lot going on with that. The cutlery, all of that is starting to happen. But you go down the supermarket aisle and all the packaging, all the cheeses, everything, and we know that there's a reason. We know there is. But if you go back to the old days, we didn't have to do that.
I know. What did we use before? It seems like it's sort of impossible. We sort of wonder how that happened.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think, recently we gave a talk to one of our clients in terms of helping their green team or create a green team for them. And so then we ended up giving a focus discussion to their staff, and we suggested that the client buys reusable cups, so in glass with a rubber around it so that they can hold the actual coffee and get a discount from the coffee shop downstairs. And so it was continuously refilled. And I mean, that's a good start, isn't it? So they don't have to keep throwing out cups, which is ridiculous.
I feel like a lot of people started doing that, you know, the keep cup, bringing like your reusable
the bags, the cups.
That's it, until COVID hit.
Yep. And now we've gone, you know how I said before about 2 steps forward, 3 steps back? So COVID has been a real drama for us actually moving forward with the plastic journey, because people have got quite confused. They're still not sure if they can take their keep cup and get things refilled. And it's been really difficult to get people back on track with that, particularly in Australia. We're lucky we're you know, opening up again, businesses sort of getting back to COVID normal, but you certainly can start to do things again with the hand on your heart and know that you're doing the right thing.
That's it. No, that was brilliant what you just said, and I think you sort of touched on a bit about consumers being eco-responsible in their consumption. What does that mean to you, John?
Questioning, being curious, thinking about, you know, what would be better. For example, when I go to the sushi shop, and I love my sushi rolls, and the first thing I do is no to the little soy fish. It's ridiculous, you know. They've got a bottle, you can pour the soy onto the sushi, right? And then apart from that, putting the sushi rolls into a glass container that I bring, and then close it, take it home. The first time I did it, they were shocked. Now they expect that that's what I'm going to do, bring the thing. So I think it's all about, you know, all this containerization stuff and thinking about how you can refill things is really a big part of the whole story. You know, reducing packaging to zilch, you know, why not refill things? We do it in the cleaning industry with cleaning products, although we've changed a lot because we actually use a system that converts water into a sanitizer, so it's chemical free. So that's a good one. But already, you know, having concentrates in cleaning products, it's a big deal. And you can continuously think about those things. We've just recently moved into a new office and we decided we'd have our collaboration tables. Everyone brings their notebooks. And I designed it in a way so it could be a dining room table later. So if we don't need those tables, I thought about the next part of the journey. So they don't have to be chucked out or they're useless. It's important. They're on wheels, so we can move them to the side and have, you know, celebrations and parties and then, you know, that sort of activity. So it's actually thinking about what's next every time. Will it go to waste? Should it go to waste?
It's your sustainability plan that you put in place.
And when
you started thinking about the plan of what's going to be sustainable when you're getting your furniture, getting set up.
That's right. But in my head, it's already in the head.
Yeah.
I don't write it down. Just know.
It comes naturally.
Just know. And I think it's the questioning. If the desire is strong enough, then you find ways.
Yeah. I think that's brilliant. I think I love when you were saying how you're taking a product, if you don't need it anymore, instead of throwing it away, you're finding a new way to repurpose it. Nowadays, you're finding a lot of, and I think we sort of touched on this before our chat about, for example, Coca-Cola, who make their bottles out of 100% recycled plastics, all that kind of, there's a lot of trends now going on where people take old plastics to remake them into new ones, or just new products in general. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, why waste the plastic that's been made in the first place, right? So, yes, recycle is better than not.
Only 7%.
I know, that's insane, isn't it?
Only 7%.
Only 7% gets properly recycled.
Yeah.
So that means
the system's wrong.
The system's
wrong. We've got the resources. Let's use it. We screwed up anyway by having all this plastic everywhere anyway. Mountains that we don't even have to mine. It's staring us in the face, right? Use it. Recreate something that's useful. But it's a shame that we even have to think that, because if we could have said no in the first place, we would have been a long way ahead, right? I think.
Absolutely.
Well, it goes without saying that you guys are obviously obsessed with plastic pollution, how to be better, how to live a life being less dependent on it. And both of your careers have really been about trying to educate people to help them change how to become more conscious, how to be less reliant on single-use plastics. What has been to date the most effective way to sort of help change one person's mindset on that?
Cool.
Do you want me to go?
Go on.
So from the macro to micro, the one thing that we've done through the business is we have a program that we deliver where we change the behaviour and the habits of what everyone's doing. And the one thing that we've found that's been really helpful is actually supplying them with an easy way to do it, facts which show them the difference, like the LCAs, and actually having a plastic swap app for the alternatives, making it easy. The easier we make it for a person to change their habits, whether they're in the workplace or whether they're at home, that's been the one thing that is a monumental change, is just keeping and it takes a lot longer than 3 weeks to change a habit with plastic. It takes a whole year. So we run our programs for a whole year for that reason, to change people's habits and go back to life before plastic. And it does exist. Life with before plastic. But that would be the one thing, is make it as easy as possible. Just as plastic is flexible and cheap and wonderful and versatile, make getting rid of it as easy as possible.
Definitely. I like that. Yeah, it makes me actually think about the fact that the whole idea of eco-bins was the catch phrase, which is changing your waste habits, so that colours make it as idiot-proof as possible. You can't help yourself but think. And then if you have a poster, if you're not sure of the do's and don'ts, then it kind of engenders one's thinking. But there's so much more to it. But yeah.
How can we get in touch if someone was interested, for example, in your eco-bins to have in their business, or to be part of the programs that you put at Plastic Oceans? How can we get in touch with you and learn more?
Very easy. Just go to our website and you'll find us on, plasticoceans.org.au, and just send us an email. We'd be happy to help. And John and I do a lot of collaboration together. We're hoping to collaborate and work in the space of doing something jointly, which we think will be really fantastic out there for the world to see in the future.
I'm so looking forward to that.
Yeah, yes. Which would be really great. And John, of course, what's your website?
Well, it's Planet
Earth.
planetearthcleaning.com.au. And so if you like the eco bins and you want them for free, you take on the cleaning service, you get them for free. And if you want free, a bit of free education, fine. And then we bring on Ricki, who's brilliant. And so the whole thing can be packaged beautifully. Or go and buy eco bins at ecobin.com.au, because they're very affordable. It was meant to be that way. So, and the other thing that I love about it is that we really thought about the energy they use in the manufacturing compared to a standard plastic bin. They're a lighter plastic, so use 50% less plastic, And so you're sustainable before you've begun. So,
I
hey.
love it.
It's a no-brainer, and that's how I met John, by the way, is I wanted his
Oh.
products on our app. So there you go.
Perfect combo together.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, Ricki and John, thank you so much for coming both on the show today. It was absolutely incredible hearing about your stories, how you're both on the mission to try and change people's perspective, all the incredible work you're doing. I'm so excited for what's to come, and hopefully the collaboration happening between you two
Yeah, very
soon.
exciting. Yeah.
This is all great and it's awesome, and I think a lot of the audience as well really enjoy seeing that there is change, positive change happening.
Absolutely.
And it's not all gloom and doom out there. So,
Absolutely. Thank you so much for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot,
It's
Manon.
been a pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Loved it.
I hope this episode left you feeling inspired as much as it did for me. If you enjoyed this episode or know someone who would benefit from hearing about these inspiring environmental advocates, please do share it with them so we can spread the knowledge and hopefully inspire more people to take action. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Think about the clothes you're wearing, the food you're eating, or even the furniture in your home. There is a story and history associated with every product you've ever bought. Unfortunately, sometimes the workers who make your products are subjected to terrible working conditions, are not treated fairly, or the manufacturing process is harmful to the environment. There are many forms of modern slavery and damaging production methods, but it's up to us, industry leaders and the consumers themselves, to take a stand so that we can contribute to a healthier planet and to changing the lives of everyone involved across the global supply chains for the better. Ethical Trade Alliance enables buyers to make informed choices on all of the products they purchase.